Hi, how are you doing? Now in this video we're going to complete this Ajax request and display the results on the screen. All right. So this is um, this is the URL. We're going to make the API call here. The first thing I want to do is we get this data. I want to store that in a variable. So let's call it what do we call all news. All news equals to data dot hits. Right. That's the one we want. And then what I can do is I will be displaying each data. So this contains 20 hits, right? I need to display them one by one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another variable, each news, and I'll just keep it empty string. Okay, its value just empty, because when we get the data, then I will append the result to it. But for the moment, it is empty. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use the map method, which is the method you apply on arrays, and get each of the array. So let's do that. So all news, right? Use the map method on this all news, which contains all this, which is an array of 20 hits. So we're going to use map method on that one. This map method takes a function. It gives us access to item index array. Okay, so we saw this in the JavaScript section. This array represents the array itself, the one it's working. Index gives the index of the each items, and this is the each item. Okay, so even though we're not going to use all of them, I like to keep it as it is, so it's better, and we can come back to it, this code, and then figure out things easily. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this bit here. Okay, this one move here. Okay, so when this button is clicked, we have a function. This function sets this paragraph with the class name of answer to this text. Now instead of this text, we would like to have this each news, right, which is currently empty at the moment. Each news. Okay, so how do we do this? 20 hits are available in 20 different items here. So what I can do is reference to this empty string, okay, each news, and what I'll do is, first of all, this is empty at the moment. First of all, I would like to wrap it in a div, each of these items. Okay, so what I'll do, div, okay, plus equals to, and here inside I create a div, and I'll leave it there, because we can change this. You can append the value using plus equals to, right? So first of all, it's empty. When we map through each item, we have the items available. So to display that item, I call this empty string variable, and then first thing I do is I add a div class, div element, then again I call it, and this time also I plus equals to append. Now this time I'm going to append the actual item, and in fact we are interested in item's title. This item contains title, author, story, URL, lots of things. Okay, but we're interested only in title. Okay, so let's say title. Now again I can still change this variable, plus equals to append again. Now we have beginning div, we have the content. Now we close the div. See that? Let's wrap it in quotes. Okay, great. Okay, so that is all we need. We have the data that we want, data.hits, which is an array that contains 20 hits. We have a variable which is empty at the moment. We use the map method on this array, and then we get each item, and then on click we start filling out this variable. First of all, we create a div for inside, and then we append, using the plus equals, we add the item title, and then again we close the div. Okay, we close the div, and then now when it's clicked, the answer HTML will be set to this result. Okay, it's pretty cool. Hopefully it works. But before that, let me also console log here, console log all news, so that you see how the data items looks like. Okay? Data hits, refresh. Okay, see, we get this array of which contains 20 items. Great. Okay, now if we click, as you can see, we get all the items line by line in their own div. How cool is that? So this is how you make an API call. Okay, so you get JSON method, give the URL, use the function callback function to get the data, and then depending on the data you have to use certain methods. If it is array, you use map. If it is object, you use some other for in loop, and then you do a bit of a work in how to display render it on the screen. And on the click event, in this case, we fill out this element with all the news. All right, this is quite practical example, and I'm sure you're excited with this one. Okay, so this is it for this lesson. In the next lesson, we're going to learn about getting the geolocation data so that we can detect the user's current location and all that stuff. So I'll see you in the next video where you're going to learn about geolocation. See you.